Want to go ahead and welcome everybody here. I have just a couple of announcements, and then I'll introduce today's guest speaker to us. The first announcement you'll understand a little bit better, I think, after today's presentation, but when the director of our community education program at the college caught wind of who is speaking today and what he does, he called me and said, you know, we have an archery league we're trying to bolster. They'd like enrollment to grow. If any of you like archery, check the email that I sent to you in Canvas about an hour ago. It has a link to where you can go ahead and get on their interest list or sign up to be part of the archery league. You'll understand that maybe a little bit better as we go along today. So I'd like to introduce, I'd like to acknowledge actually our college president and his wife are here with us, President Carlson and Janet. Thank you for being here today. And I'm going to also introduce our guest speaker, Mr. Dale Gledhill. He's had a career focused on consumer product development. During his career, he's been responsible for the development, manufacture, and selling of products through pretty much every major retail organization in the country, places like Walmart, Target, Costco, Dollar General, Kmart, those kinds of retail establishments. His name is tied to over 40 patents, and he's successfully built and sold multiple companies. He has international business experience. And presently, he is the owner of Adventure Sport Technology, which is located in Nephi, Utah, over in Jeb County. Do we have anyone here from Jeb County? Raise your hand. Great. We've got a few here from Jeb County. So one of the manufacturing technologies that they use in that company has enabled them to produce the world's lightest weight, high-end, high-performance compound bow. So without any further ado, I'm going to turn all of the rest of the time that we have today over to Mr. Dale Gledhill. Please welcome Mr. Gledhill.
Okay, is it good? Testing 1, 2, 3, we're good. Hey, I'm happy to be here, and I wish when I was your age I would have attended a lot of entrepreneur seminars, because I would have learned a lot, and I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, I always wanted to work for myself. And today I'm going to talk about change, because there's a big gap between you and me, and I want to try to help bridge that gap, because some of you do want to be entrepreneurs, and I want to help you. But I want to tell you, to illustrate that gap, this weekend I spent up fishing with my family in the Uintas. I love to fish. And my son, I have a 15-year-old son, Noah, he's kind of a rebel, and he catches the fish, and we yelled out, hey, what is it? He says, it's an up dog. It's a true story. And my wife, you know, like I said to my rebel, my wife says, what's up, dog? And my little boys are just laughing. What's up, dog? My wife kept saying, what's up, dog? And it took my wife about 30 seconds to what's up, dog? You know? And because it's just, we don't talk like that. You know, you guys do. Probably kind of funny. So, the second thing I understand is I'm just an average guy that works hard and surrounded myself with good people and good things happen. And one correction I want to make is I'm one of the owners of AST. My friend Doug Burrell, engineer, smart guy, is right here. So, and he's one of the owners too. And anything can happen when you dream big and work hard, including failures. I've had plenty of those. And speaking of change, I have something I want to show here. This is from the Snow Academy. This is awarded to, this certifies that Mary J. Christensen has honorably completed the dressmaking course of study as prescribed by this institution, and having passed a satisfactory examination is awarded this certificate. Snow College dressmaking degree, right here, dated 25th of May, 1908. Times have changed. Is that still offered here, dressmaking? So anyway, okay. The last thing I want to say is, we'll do a lot better if you have a question, just to raise your hand and let's get to it right then. You don't have to sit and wait through this presentation because some of it may put you to sleep, but when you have a question, just raise your hand and let's get right on it. And the presentation is broken into two parts. The first part I'm going to talk about the company a little bit. The second part is about you, how we can help you in some way. So this is about me. I'm not going to go over me because we've already covered it. The other founder is Doug Burrell, sitting on the front row, and in any company, he's the smart guy. Everybody's got to have one of those, just like the guy who set up all this video. And then we have a third partner, Rick and Julie Croyer. They run a TV show called Beyond the Hunt. Any of you are hunters, and they're a top 10 show on the Outdoor Channel. So here's our timeline. Summer of 2015, we got together and we designed a bow from a bow from scratch from carbon. And these pictures here are some of my original file. And most inventors know that they usually end up on a napkin. That is my original napkin drawing. Anybody ever done that? Drawn pictures of inventions? That's the original, and we'll get to where it headed. After that, we made a high-power presentation, a good PowerPoint presentation, kind of like this. And we said, let's go out to the industry titans, start with PSE, and go down from there and see if we can get someone to bite on this program. So we approached PSE, and they've been around for 50 years. They're one of the top 3 in the world in archery equipment. So, and we said, we can engineer a bow made with, we'll finish out in one piece of carbon, and it'll give you the lightest bow in the world. And that's the part we showed from that drawing, and that's the finished part right there. And I'll show you the finished part. And this weighs about 1.8 ounces or something. And you can come out, after we're done, you can come up and fill it, but it's so light, it's crazy. So a bow built with one solid piece of carbon, what's called monocoque, has never been done before. Many companies have tried it, but it's the first one. And this is being built, by the way, in Nephi, Utah. There's one other carbon bow in the world, and that's made by Hoyt, and that one's built with a whole bunch of parts from China that they glue together. And anybody that's in product design, simplicity is the secret to good design. Anybody got an iPhone? They're just simple. Who reads instructions? No, it's simplicity. So we created this compound bow, the lightest bow, and that's to see a finished product. This is one that's painted. That's the finished product right there. It's so light. Who's got free hands? Is it light? It's crazy. And that's one of our employees' custom paint job. He wanted skulls and crossbones. That's not mine, but my son Noah would probably want one of those. And I've got a picture of it here. This is the actual picture of the one. This one's fully loaded. This is Doug's personal bow right here. Hang on. Lost my check. Yes. When that bow is loaded, this bow right here, finished bow, 2.15 pounds. Amazing. The lightest compound high-performance bow in the world. So we build this bow exclusively for PSE. Yeah. We don't have to worry about all the sales and marketing on it. So here's the video. Here's PSE's promotion video for this bow. It's a 3-minute video.
How do we define the classics? Classics endure. They are timeless. We cherish them and build on them. Never...
Uh-oh, where's the smart guy? Okay, let's see if it'll go one more time. It was running perfect before.
How do we define the classics? Classics endure. They are timeless. We cherish them and build on them, never forgetting our past, but always moving toward our future. PSE defined the classics, and now we are defining the future. We pioneered preloaded limb technology, while everyone else just stood and watched. We blasted through the archery speed barrier, leaving everyone else in the dust. So what do you do when you've conquered all? When you've reached the pinnacle, and the band starts playing your victory song. You start a revolution out of thin air. Introducing the all-new PSE Carbon Air, engineered with true carbon technology to be the lightest high-performance bow in the world. What makes the PSE Carbon Air so revolutionary? The answer is PSE's true carbon technology, using a monocoque carbon construction technique never before seen in archery. The Carbon Air is built from a single structural carbon fiber shell, much like the body of an Italian supercar. The PSE Carbon Air is the lightest high-performance bow on the market, weighing in at just 3.2 pounds. The carbon shell is filled with our proprietary lightweight material with SRAC technology to absorb vibration at the bow's core, making it dead quiet in your hand. The exclusive arch bridge riser design pushes the weight load outward along the curve, strengthening the bow, offsetting the stress weight on the riser, and stabilizing your shot. PSE's acclaimed hyperdrive cam, the Centerlock Speed Pocket, and legendary PSE X-Tech limbs make it shoot like a dream at speeds of up to 340 feet per second, with a silky smooth valley and an 80% let-off. Never before has so much cutting-edge archery technology been packed into one bow. The PSE Carbon Air is truly an archery revolution. PSE Carbon Air. Experience PSE. Experience performance.
So it's a great video, and this company put a lot of energy behind it, and it's selling very well, and right now we're building the 2017 model, so it's going to live for quite a while. Question? Okay, good question. The question was, how much does it cost for us to manufacture it? So you want me to give out trade secrets? So that bow retails for about, if you buy it at the store, it's about $1,500. You know, the carbon parts, I might tell you what, the carbon parts, when you do carbon, it's about 20% cost of materials and 80% labor. And we sell that bow to them for, under $500. So they got to make money. But yeah, carbon is all about labor. You can't really turn a machine on it. But great question. Any more questions before we move on? Yes? Excuse me? The draw weight. So on a, she asked, what's the draw weight on the bow? This bow can be adjusted, can run anywhere from, I think, 45 to 70. 45 to 70. Are you a bow hunter? Oh, great. It's a lot of fun. So one of the interesting things, I'm really going to talk about technology, but this bow, there was one slide in there that talked about the proprietary core material. This bow, in addition to all I said, is the quietest bow when you shoot it. There's no bow when you shoot it, just like this little bud. Usually when you pull a bow back, you pull the bow back and the string hits here, there's a shock on a bow, if you ever shot a bow. But this bow, when you shoot it, it's just like thud. It's quiet and there's no shock. And so this bow, well, I've got another slide here to show you. So anyway, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So in the first 7 months, we shipped over $800,000 worth of this bow. Just took off like crazy. And this core material we just talked about is, and we'll talk about it here in a minute, what it does for us. But it's kind of our secret sauce to our business. With this core material, we can accomplish a lot of different things. And our core material, the advantage we have over at AST is, in the past, carbon manufacturing has always been in China. And that's because to create a carbon piece, it requires a lot of molds. And we have a new process that allows us to build the carbon part, just like the picture shows, outside of the mold. So instead of, if we were to build this in China, for example, we would have to have 20, 30 molds. We can stay in production with 2 or 3 molds. So this is one of the things we're going to talk about. We can bring business back home. Those are just some of the spec sheets on it. So this core material is what we really have over at AST that allows us to do a lot of things. And we're getting ready to start our next project. And Doug over here was one of the founders, inventors of this neat bicycle frame called Rasic. And this will be the lightest bike in the world, carbon bike in the world. Mountain bike, and this will be starting being built in Nephi here shortly. And this one, feel the weight of that. It's ridiculous of that. You have to come up and feel this after. So carbon's a neat thing, and it's traditionally been built in China, and we're going to talk about what we can do about that. So our process allows for us to build the carbon outside a mold I talked about, saves money. We can also build it with less carbon than traditionally than most other people. Our material is the most shock-absorbing material you can find for carbon we're aware of, and it's something that Doug pretty much engineered here. Plus, we can build complex parts. That bow is incredibly complex for carbon. You know, most people said it couldn't be done, and we've done it. Plus, getting into the business, like I said, you can do it with such less, a lot fewer molds. So usually it's so expensive to build carbon. That's why most people do it in China. But now we can do it in USA with this process. The other thing about this business, from a business perspective, is that we can turn a raw piece of carbon. And as you entrepreneurs, you'll be out trying to raise money for your next project. They'll say, well, if we give you money, how soon can you turn it into profit? Well, the money is usually used for your materials. This is what carbon looks like. We can turn this carbon into a bow, within a day. And we can ship it out within 2 days past that, and we can get paid just within weeks. So if you're ever talking to venture capitalists, so you guys, entrepreneurs want to raise money, they want to know what's your velocity on capital. You want to know how quick can you turn it. And with this product, we can turn it in just weeks. When you put all these benefits together, it's a real opportunity for carbon manufacturing here in the USA. So currently, we have an 8,000 square foot facility in Nephi. We employ 44 people, and we've had tremendous growing pains to grow that fast in the matter of a few months. And now we're getting ready to do bikes and a couple other projects, so we're going to hire more people. That's our humble facility. We have very good equipment. This big machine on the right, that's called an auto matrix, and that cuts the pieces of carbon so fast and so perfect every time. You just hit go and it's just an amazing piece of equipment. You could never do it without this. So our achievements in the last 12 months. In bow hunting, for example, this is the journal. And we were featured on the front cover. A couple months ago, we were working, and I was out of town, and the governor showed up and spent 45 minutes at our facility. I don't know if that was campaign or whatever, but it took 45 minutes. He's supposed to be there 10 minutes. There's an outdoor Utah contest, all you entrepreneurs. Every year there's different type of contests around the country and state, and we won that with this technology, not the product, but with this technology. And the first, like I said, the first 8 months, we've shipped over $800,000 both. And that's, I don't tell you that to not say, wow, we're doing great. I tell you that you can do this. We're just, Doug and I, we're just average guys. You can do this. And I'm going to talk about how to do that. These are some of the projects we're working on and pursuing. And this is why we believe in AST. We can really bring mass carbon production back from China to America. And I think the only way to really do that, too, is in rural America. That's why there's a lot of carbon people in San Pete and Jeb County. It's going to be hard to do that in Salt Lake City. Talked about capital. And we know there's a strong demand for good quality products now, outdoor type products. So the real purpose for us being here today, in some way, we hope to inspire you. And by the way, out in your hall, I saw these little sticky notes. My hope is, what a fun board. I don't know whose idea that was, but I was out reading those. My hope is that we can share a couple ideas that will help make your life easier if you want to be an entrepreneur and bridge some of those gaps. So I want to talk about what has changed in the marketplace. Because back like my son, Updog, there's a big gap between you and me. But I want to tell you what's changed. So 20 years ago, I was in China on a train from Hangzhou to Shanghai. And I was in first class. And I walked into first class, and there was an old Naugahyde seat, and they put a towel over it because there was a hole in the seat, and right in between the seats was a pot-belly stove. And they came and put coal. And I sat there, I sat on that train, looked about like that train right there, and every city would stop. I remember pulling up to one stop, and there was a mound of corn kernels bigger than this room, and there was the guys with little tiny shovels and old metal wheelbarrows wheeling it around. It was just 20 years ago. Amazing, and that train ride took all day, like 8-hour ride. So China today, I was there 3 or 4 months ago. That's their G model train. That train runs at 300 kilometers an hour, 181 miles an hour. You can sit there with your drink without a lid and you can't even feel it. It's amazing. And they put those trains everywhere. They're elevated trains. It's incredible. Has anybody been to China? How long ago were you there? Yeah. You enjoy it? It's good to get home though, right? You're right. So, where are we at? Back to the marketplace. This is Shanghai, 1990. Well, that's 2014. There's 1990. Do you think that's changing over there? That was built with our money, by the way, guys. So that's Shanghai, actually a suburb of Shanghai called Pudong. That's Pudong right now today. Look at the comparison in 20 years. It's astounding. I mean, when you see that, when you see Pudong from the water, that part, you can't even, it doesn't even look real. "20 years ago, San Pete and Jeb Counties was the sewing mecca of the whole West here. There were sewing facilities that employed hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. China destroyed that business here with $2 a day labor. But things are changing. The current labor rate in China today is about $4.50 an hour. And that's why things are changing. That's why manufacturing is starting to come back. Because manufacturers, for the most part, chase labor. So the reason I showed you those trains and those expensive buildings, this is the funny thing to remember. Most people spend up to their income. China is no exception. When you go to Shanghai, for example, or Hong Kong, you'll see more Porsches, more Ferraris, more Mercedes than you will in downtown Salt Lake. So they're spending a lot of money, so they're requiring a lot of money. They're changing. That's one reason labor rates are going up. There's been a tangible shift in the last few years in America for high-quality parts that are made in America. For example, Walmart even pledged $500 million a year to domestic products. In the outdoor industry, like bows and high quality, they demand USA-made products. Anybody had a bad experience with products that break in China? You know, and I'm bad as anybody. I've imported for 17 years. On the first slide, my dream has always been to manufacture domestically, and that's why AST is a dream, dream come true for me. So, manufacturing, and the key to manufacturing USA, why it's coming back, is for quality, and people want products that last longer. Not hard to do. Rural Utah, this county, or these surrounding counties, has a real advantage over urban areas if you want to get into manufacturing, and that's why we moved south. First off, people want to work. They just don't want to sit behind a computer. A lot of people just want to work. And so it's fairly easy in Nephi, Doug, it's easy to get people to work, right? Yep, it's a great workforce. I bet it's the same here. That's why there's manufacturing starting to come home to rural America. So what does this mean for you as an entrepreneur? So I think the biggest opportunities for you coming up is if you get into manufacturing. It's coming back home. The China labor rate is going to go up and up and up, and then people chase it to Vietnam, and soon it's going to end. There's no place for manufacturers to chase labor. It's going to end all back here. So there's a real opportunity for an entrepreneur if you want to manufacture, to make things. The second thing is finish your education. Stick to school. You know, while you're young, I have 2 sons that are, well, 3 kids in college, and they want to, my son's an entrepreneur bug like me crazy, and I just shut it down. I said, a little bit on the side, but just finish. While you're young, just finish. It gets so much harder as you get older. Just finish. And this is a great place to do it. So I want to tell you how we got this deal with PSE, because it may work, you can just pattern after one of your own projects. So Doug and our team, we're always reading about new technology and listening. Just keep your ears open. Read current material. And what we did here, we're always looking for different applications of existing technology. Carbon's not new, right? Been around forever. You can see it in BMWs, you can see it in airplanes. What we did is we took an existing product and used a different application for it. And the reason that's a bonus is someone did all their R&D how to build carbon. We just use it for something different. It's a great way to innovate. What's our third one? Third one is surround yourself with like-minded people with solid characters. If you can't trust your partner with your life and his personal life's a mess, you got the wrong partners. Surround yourself with the right people. The other thing is when we built this bow, we did all the work for the buyer. We did all the designs, the costs, the presentation. We did everything, and we always gave them options. So when we presented, when I showed him my napkin design, which wasn't a napkin, it was that beautiful PowerPoint, there was 3 bows, not 1. So he didn't have to say yes or no. He was choosing which one. But we did all his work for him. And the bonus to that is we made him look like a genius to his boss. So people you're trying to do business with, make them look good to their boss. And even today, we're super responsive to everything they need. If they want something, we usually jump on it right on the spot. So we become like an extension to their company, and they just trust us. They don't even go bid, they just trust us. We also innovate continually. Doug was making changes this morning. We're always looking to be better and improve. Because once you become successful, people are going to copy you, want a competition. Always stay ahead of them. Don't get lazy. Keep innovating. So this is what we want you to understand today. It's most often that just normal Joe or Jane, we'll say, with drive can make a big impact. There's really nothing special about us. We just did it. And we really thought through this process. We call you millennials, you're different than us. Most millennials and people I deal with them all the time, they don't want to make anything. People know I've been an entrepreneur for a long time, so a lot of kids your age come to me and say, we want to do this. They don't want to do anything, they just want to sell. Don't be afraid to manufacture. Take more control of your business. Selling's a part of it, but don't be afraid. To get deals, to make your business happen, we talked about do the work for other people. Make them look like heroes. Don't worry about credit. And we talked innovation is easiest when using current technology. Saves a lot of money, just like we did here. Another thing, remember, no industry is safe anymore. And I have two beautiful examples. I mean, can you believe that GoPro took over people like Nikon and Olympus? And it's incredible. They came from nowhere. And then think of Under Armour. Can anybody ever dethrone Nike or Adidas? 10 years ago, if you said both of those, I'd say it's impossible. So nothing's safe anymore for hard workers, for innovation, because people just are willing to buy what they want to buy. And remember, a failure is an effort. A failure with effort is just improved IQ, just made you smarter. We failed at a lot of things. Question? The question was, how many times did we fail to get the bow right? Well, let me tell you, this bow, when you build carbon, you add layers of carbon and then you test it. And you test it behind a plexiglass or hide behind a wall, because if it breaks, everything just explodes. This bow, and we know, because, for example, we were testing one day, and my partner Doug here was hiding around a wall with his phone, and it exploded. Then a piece of carbon hit his phone and shattered his phone. So there's your question. This was about a dozen tries to get it to where it was. So we would break it, we'd build it, we say, well, we're at a weak point here. So then we'd structurally build up this point. And then here, it's like plugging holes in the dike until all the holes are plugged. Then we added another 10% on top of everything just to be safe. Yes, question?
So you start out with your napkin design, and you have to turn your design into the actual bow. I'm not asking specifically what you did. What sort of process would you have to follow to be able to know what you have to do to create the actual bow?
First off, okay, after the napkin design, I hired some graphic designers, and we made beautiful graphic presentations of that napkin design. So instead of my hand-drawn, it looked beautiful. We took those beautiful designs to PSE. We were going to go to others next, but to PSE and let them choose. And then from there, I mean, it's a lot of work, engineering, because after you say, we like the look of that, next you have to go to engineering to build it so it's strong enough. That answer your question? Keep going, not really. What's the rest?
I imagine there's a lot of different sources you have to pull from, a lot of researching, finding out a lot of different information and pulling it together to actually be able to create what you're saying.
Yeah. It is a lot of work to manufacture, but a lot of research, tremendous amounts of research, and having the internet, you can almost find anything on the spot. But one of the secrets I did as an entrepreneur, I've always had a smart guy around me, like this guy right here. He's worked with me on 2 other ventures that we both sold and done fine with. So always surround yourself with smart guys that help you do it. I'm good at sourcing things, so I can source things. He has to build it. Yep. I'm what he's not, he's what I'm not. And so, a team, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. It's better to surround yourself with good people. You can't be everything to everybody. I'm a sales, marketing, and manufacturing guy. And Doug doesn't. He's a deer in headlights when we talk about that. But he can make anything. So that's what makes a good team. Oh, there you go, my last point. Don't be afraid of being a superstar team and not being the superstar. You don't have to be the front cover of a magazine. That's not important. Teams are always more powerful than individuals. And that helps solve your problem with teams. The difference between goals and accomplishments is just discipline. Just focus, hard work, and discipline. That's not my quote, but a famous great guy. So that concludes my presentation of what we do. They're all, yay, get to go to lunch early. So, any other questions? Yes. He asked a question about patents and process. So patents, I'll tell you what the lawyers don't tell you. Is that fair? Because lawyers make money by doing your patents. There's two types of patents in the world. There's the design patent, where you can design the look of the patent, what a product looks like, or there's a utility patent, you design how the process or how it works. A design patent can be as inexpensive as $3,000 to $5,000. Utility patents can be anywhere from probably $12,000 to $25,000. Now, what they don't tell you, a patent's only good if you're willing to defend it. So let's say we have this patented and we're out marketing it, someone copies it. The only way I can stop them is I'm willing to put up a lot of money to sue them and shut it down. So patents are good. For example, our core material that we've invented for this, we did not patent it. But what we have is what's called the trade secret. No one knows how to mix it except these two guys here. Because when you file a patent, you have to disclose everything. We didn't want to tell the world how we build the middle of this bow. So, but patents, and I'm not downplaying patents, just they're expensive, but make sure before you do a patent that you really for sure know you have a good project. Because most inventors, any inventors here, I'll be right with you, inventors here, most inventors go ask their mom and their brother or sister, what do you think of my idea? And they'll always say, it's a great idea, because that'll make you feel bad. So make sure you know it's a good idea before you spend that patent money. Question back here. It was our responsibility to do the patent, because we're the designer of this product. If PSE would not have bought this bow, we would have taken it to somewhere else. So it was our responsibility to do that patent. Yes?
I saw that recently won the 2016 contest.
Yes?
What do you think it was that caused you to beat the grand prize winner?
So the comment was, we won the outdoor recreation contest this year, and so your question was, why do you think we won that contest? That contest is about creating jobs. And we did not present the bow as our product. We presented our process. Our process that allows us to build carbon fiber parts in America as competitive or more competitive than China. And they were so excited about the process and the opportunities we can use on bikes and all the other projects working now. That's what won it, because they could see it's going to really create jobs. And we think we're going to, we'll have a lot of people employed here shortly working on some other very nice projects. Okay, I did see another hand a second ago. Yes? The question was, what did you do in the beginning to raise capital and funds? So we did two things. Because we're building this exclusively for a partner, we asked them to put in, to prepay some of their orders. So that raised some part, and the rest of the capital we came up ourselves. So are you an inventor? So raising capital is a funny thing, It's there's two ways to raise capital. You can raise it as debt, where you have to pay it back, or you can raise it as capital, where you're having to give part of your company away. The longer you can hold on without doing that, the less you'll give away. And sometimes it's better to take a big chunk of capital so you can just build it and go full speed ahead. But in some cases, it's better to grow organically, start small and build it, than you keep control of the whole thing. Not every project's unique, and but be very careful when you raise capital, because it comes always with a cost, and no one likes a ball and a chain to drag around. Any more questions?
So if you expect to stay strictly with designing instead of carbon fiber,
The question was, do we strictly going to stay with bows or small items, or go into strict carbon manufacturing in general? Our plan is not to build like airplane wings and, you know, government contracts. We found our niche. Our niche is we can mass produce carbon parts, to build a lot of parts at a very inexpensive price here in America. So we're going to stay with consumer products. We're not going to go after, you know, a lot of these government contract things. We're going after things that where people want high quality, made in America, lightweight parts, whether it be, you know, equipment for climbing or hunting or gun stocks or just things that are just consumer products. We're going to stick right there. We know who we are, and our process really lends itself to that. But good question. Yes. He said, in the process, what kind of obstacles were there? Or were there a lot of obstacles? Oh man, there were lots. I was getting gray hair. There was a lot of obstacles. We had approval on that bow, this bow in August, and we had to have it finished and engineered and ready by October. And we had a lot of problems. And you just have to work through them, a lot of problems. I mean, what were some of our problems, Doug?
The problem you have with manufacturing, I mean, starting from ground zero to 60 miles an hour, trying to get employees trained.
Yeah, training.
Training is a big issue since most of it is labor. You know, a lot of
Yeah.
problems
A lot of problem was training. A lot of it is that the process we do has never been done before this way. So we had to build the way carbon's made with ovens. We had to build custom ovens. We had to build everything in our facilities custom. You just couldn't go buy a machine off the shelf. So we had a lot of problems, but you just work through them. You just don't give up. Don't give up. And, you know, that's the question. The question is, what's our motivation? What kept us going? What kept us going is we had a chance to really do something that no one's ever done before. A one-piece, lightest carbon compound bow in the world. Never been done before. And with our process, we just believed in it so much, and it just got us through. We had faith, hope, and believed it, and we just stayed on it. And we had a lot of problems. I mean, believe me, we had a lot of problems, but we just stayed. We knew we could pull it off, and that's why I said surround yourself with the right people. You don't want the giver-uppers. Just surround yourself with the right people. So I know inherently we knew these opportunities don't come along very often, and we had to seize it. So we just stayed focused on it. Yes. Okay, the question was, how do we protect our process from leaking out and going over to China, et cetera? Well, a couple of things. Yeah, all the employees do sign a non-disclosure about keeping it secret, but the part of blending, some of the blending of the materials, that's all done with just 2 people. And so if Doug and I get in a car crash on the way home, that's really bad. But we don't know of a better solution right now. But that's only part of the puzzle. We have great technology, but the second part of the puzzle is we have a tremendous workforce that comes from St. Pete, Jeb County. And that's kind of the combination. So we call it our trade secret is our labor. We have people that really want to work. It's hard to do that. I don't think we could do this in Salt Lake. You know, it's just better down. People really want to work here, and there's some people that don't want to just sit in front of a computer. They want to use their hands and work. And so that's our second trade secret. So, you know, we just kind of quietly do our thing in Nephi. I don't know. I mean, we're happy to be here. I'm not sure how we ended up here, but anyway, happy to be here. But yeah, it's important to keep your trade secrets. And I've been in China more times than I'm proud to tell you, 50 plus times. And I built products, and I go to the big show in southern China, they held twice a year, and I walked booth. I remember we had a product developed, and I walked in the show and saw my product and my packaging in 15 different booths. That makes you unhappy. And so it's always been my dream to manufacture domestically and bring it home, and this is the dream come true, because just China doesn't need our help anymore. And I'm not trying to say down in China, they just don't need our help anymore. We need to take care of us right here. That's why if you can manufacture domestically, it's the thing to do right now. You can't do it with everything. Some things don't make sense, but if you can, start here. And one of the reasons I was here, when we were going to start this factory, we were choosing between 2 locations, by the way. Logan, because there was a good student database, a student base that wanted to work, and Nephi. And there was someone that really pressured me to think down south here. And he's sitting on the back row. Dr. Carlson said, you really need to come down here. And he's the one that kind of tipped the meter for me. And because we were on the fence on both locations. And so Dr. Carlson said, these are good people, and they need these jobs. And so in hindsight, he was right, and I'm really glad we did. And so thanks to him. Yes?
What kind of job qualifications does somebody need to be employed by a company?
The question is, what kind of job qualifications are needed to be employed by our company? We have trained everybody that works there. There's not one person that we have hired that has come with carbon fiber manufacturing experience. We have trained every single individual. So just the qualifications is honest and hardworking. That's your qualifications, and reliable. And we can do the rest. Yes. The question is there any other carbon manufacturers that are a threat to us? You know, we don't know of any, but I'm sure this industry is now scrambling to make a carbon bow. Because once someone's successful with one, others are going to try to copy and follow. So I don't know the specific threat, but I do know one of the slides that says keep innovating, keep innovating. And we have a lot of innovations for 2017, and we're working on 2018 bow right now. So as the competition catches you here, you're already here. So you can't keep people away. Just stay ahead. Question?
As you were hiring employees or planning to hire new ones, like you said, this type of company, do people come to you and say, hey, can I apply here, or do you have to go out and look for employees yourself?
The question, did we have to go find employees, or do employees find us? And it's part of the hiring process. We ran one ad in the Nephi City Times or newspaper, but from there it's all been word of mouth. No one, well, we've had 2 people leave the state, but no one quits our facility because we take very good care of people and we are very fair, and so people have just come to us. And we, people that do good, we give back to them the same way. So it's been no trouble hiring people just because we just treat people decent. That's all people really want. Okay, any more questions? Thank you. And those were great, great questions, by the way. Appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.